Hey guys, what is up? This is Matthew Davis, me once again. Welcome back to another movie review, aka After I Saw. Happy 4th of July. And this time I'm going to be talking about Despicable Me 4. That's right. There are 4 of these movies. Well, technically there's 6, because the Minions movies, they're prequels to the Despicable Me movie. So, yeah. But, anyways, Gru is on a new mission. He has to take his family to a new neighborhood, while facing off against this bad guy that isn't relatively new for him, because it's a bad guy that he knew from his past, from his childhood, and now he is back and taking form of a cockroach. And yeah, his family has changed now, not in terms of, growing up or anything like that. No, they're still the same age. What I mean by that is that he has expanded his family as he now has a baby boy named Gru Jr. Yep. Such a perfect name. Like, couldn't have called him anything. But whatever, he has a baby now. Anyways, when it comes to the Despicable Me movies, I still think the first 2 are the best ones. It's hard to believe that. I remember when Despicable Me came out all the way back in 2010. I remember getting that DVD for Christmas, all like, oh man, I never got to see this movie. I cannot wait to watch it. And I just watched it over and over and never got tired of it. And after that, I was looking forward to seeing what would come next because, of course, because of the movie's popularity, it would gain a franchise of its own because it's what brought Illumination to life. And not making particularly fantastic movies that children and families will watch. And I still think the first one is their best film that they made. Second movie, I also thought was really good. That's easily the best sequel out of all of them. The third movie I thought was alright, but easily the best thing about that movie was Trey Parker as the villain. He's pretty much my favorite villain out of all the villains in this franchise. It's a biased choice because I'm a massive South Park fan. And when it comes to this movie, it's kind of what I expected. Nothing super, super original or super, I feel like because of the popularity of this franchise, they're just going to keep bringing it out with a new movie every few years or so. And it's been 7 years since the last movie. Not counting Minions, obviously, but, yeah, and I actually did think that, there was some mild stuff about this movie that, did, make me somewhat entertained. First of all, it's very well paced. Like, when it opens up, it immediately, feels like it's going by really quick. So that's pretty much one thing I will definitely say about the film. It goes by pretty quickly. All the movies do. They're pretty short. This movie in particular is just as long as the first movie. But really, when it comes to this film, I feel like my main gripes that I have with it are the fact that there are multiple subplots to some of the characters, and a couple of them don't really go anywhere. I'm not sure if I should spoil anything here, but I feel like Margot barely has anything to do with this film. It seems like she will, but then it just, well, of course, a lot of the time it focuses on Gru and his new son. And for some reason, Gru doesn't like his dada all that much. And it's kind of typical. But of course, we know later down the line, he is going to start getting used to him because, Gru just wants to be a good official dad. So, yeah, but I feel like when it comes to him having a son now, I feel like it really doesn't do a whole lot. I mean, the main bad guy wants to kidnap his son just to ruin Gru's life. Honestly, I feel like if Gru was to have a new kid, it would be a boy because, with the 3 girls and, yeah. But I feel like a lot of the stuff that happens in the movie kind of happens at random. Like, of course, one thing that was advertised is that the Minions become superheroes. They don't really have a whole lot of purpose. They do, one thing that doesn't have anything to do with the plot in terms of trying to save the world. And they don't really have a major part until, the end of the movie, though it's kind of pointless by the end. So, yeah, I feel like because, the Minions were so popular, they're tending to steal the show, but they mostly just do the exact same thing they always do, beat each other up once in a while and pull off some weird phrases once in a while. So, yeah, I never hated the Minions. I think they're still really entertaining in the first 2 movies, but I feel like it's come to this point where they're pretty much just trying to make them the stars of the show. I mean, of course, they got their own movies and all, but there isn't a whole lot of Minions, as it does relatively focus on Gru, you know, trying to live a normal-ish life, while also having to try to take down this new mission. There's another mission he does with this little girl, played by Joey King. She wants to do a heist, and Gru tends to help her with that heist. She's more of an anti-hero of this, as she's not really a, well, yeah, I'm going in way too far with this. At first, I didn't feel like this had a point, but something happens later on, so like, okay, yeah, I get it now. I guess that's really my main gripe, is that the fact that random stuff happens once in a while, and it just, I feel like it's kind of hard for me to keep up, because of course there's Lucy with the two kids, Edith and Agnes, and there are just times where the movie cuts away to certain parts that I don't really feel like have a whole lot of purpose. But are kids going to care? Nah, they're not going to care, because it's a very inoffensive film. Just like these movies, they have humor that will definitely aim towards kids. Though there are a couple of adult jokes in here, one towards the beginning, I was all like, yeah, kids are not going to understand what just happened, but hey, it involves poop, so they'll laugh at that. I don't really have to comment on the animation, because, you know, it's that cartoony style that we're used to seeing in these movies, and their style, it's good enough. And in the end, I don't really have a whole lot to say about this movie, other than it's pretty much what I expected. Kids are definitely going to have a blast with this one. They're going to love seeing the Minions. But in terms of, you know, this, I feel like there isn't a whole lot that this movie does to change up the franchise's formula, other than Gru has a son now who he wants him to love him, because, you know, he loves his son, he wants to be a good dad. But I feel like it's just one of those occasions where, because they had a baby now, they think it'll make the franchise go somewhere, but I don't feel like it really does anything to go anywhere. So sometimes I feel like he's just there just to be part of the background. He does have a major part, definitely, but yeah, I just feel like they could have done more. I mean, thankfully they didn't do that cliche where the siblings are jealous of their new sibling and all. But yeah, they don't do that, as he's very woke. Like, the girls treat him well, so yeah, that's, at least they didn't do something like that. So yeah, it has its chuckle-worthy moments here and there for adults, but definitely aimed more towards the child audience, just like the previous few films, though the first two movies I feel like definitely have some moments that adults will appreciate. This, I feel like it's something that, because the franchise has gotten so big, they're just trying to do more with it, but it's harmless enough. It's harmless entertainment for children. Adults, they'll probably be more comfortable watching Inside Out 2 again. And that's saying something right there, because that film has just been breaking records, and it already made it to the $1 billion mark. So Pixar finally did something right again. So yeah, but there's no doubt in my mind this movie is going to make a massive fortune. Yeah, but anyways, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys later. Word out.